they'll just have to take a few tier 1 tower hits and back off. That might mean that Yamate, yeah, he'll just run back to the fountain. Just TP back up when he has full HP, full mana. Might even be able to grab himself a mango or a clarity on the way up. Be quite nice for him.
Yeah, that does set Rusman up for a pretty even start here. You do have to watch out for the fire spirits from Candy if they do come in, but they're running this aggro tri-lane.
Yes, they are.
Just gonna try to look for first blood, but feels like the spacing's not quite right. This is gonna make it hard for Yamate. I think he's just gonna look for let's say a creep pull here to get the HP
Yamate.
up.
Not sure what he was doing there, but he's gonna get caught out. He'll go for the toss, but they have the Fortune's End to hold him down. But Bombi cannot catch up as he does have the brown boots on the Tiny. They'll have to let him go. Focus your attention back towards Candy Loon. You don't want him getting free XP on this Phoenix. This Phoenix could be rather problematic for the Spectre if he does get a good start off.
Yeah, it's an interesting first skill up for Candy. He does go with a dive, so it's a bit more defensive, not opting to play with the fire spirits. I think that's fair when you see this tri-lane. And so far, they haven't really been able to zone Candy too far. I think they're happy enough if you're new esports up there. Still, the mid lane matchup is not one you see too often. Monkey against Snap. And it is looking fairly even on the last hits. Of course, Hong can't quite just go up and get some right clicks off to get some Jingu stacks. DDZ, he can punish with a Scatter Blast and with a little Shredder that he does pick up. So not going for the cookie play makes it harder for Hong to be as offensive as he'd want here.
It does. We'll see what Hung does about it though. Like, they must have some kind of game plan with this Monkey King pickup. It really isn't in meta, so they're going to have to show us something special to make this hero work. Especially up against the side of New Esports, who aren't exactly a weak team or anything like that. They've been looking pretty darn good recently. Bot lane, of course, Red and Dat BB now going to be with each other, so Dat decides he doesn't want to be up top anymore. He'll come down towards that bot lane, try to help out Red on the Doom. In all fairness, Red has been struggling a lot. He's still sitting at 4 last hits on that Doom. Of course, he has been getting some devours off, but not as many as you would hope. In fact, he has a devour right now if he wants to get something. He does choose to go for that middle creep, and we'll get the mana burn onto Lance. So, just wants to mana burn the Medusa over and over again.
Yeah, that is fairly annoying, to be fair. It's not like Lance has a lot of starting mana as well, but this is still not the ideal lane for Red. It's definitely not something where you expect the Doom to completely overtake. So Lance, steady farm up, good amount of last hits here, keeping up with the farm you're seeing from Rusman, sets the cores out evenly.
Candula top lane was in a bit of trouble there, but it's like Yamate will be able to protect him over on that Tiny. It's just fine. I was kind of intrigued as well, John, that Red didn't bother devouring the Sati Tormentor instead, because you get a lot of passive regen. In fact, it's 5 health regen out of taking the other creep that he could have devoured. That BB gonna go down. Red can't really do too much about it. Still trying to drain mana off this Medusa and Venge, but again, you'd kind of rather see Red with that bonus 5 HP just so he can tank all this damage.
Yeah, it's a bit problematic. I think he might be too low level to get it. I forget how it works nowadays. Yeah, max creep level's a bit too low.
Right, that'll explain. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs a level 3 Devour, I think, to take that creep, so it's going to be stuck in this situation for a while. Just gives a good time there, and up top.
Candy, tried the Icarus dive out, but Bombi has the control. Candy should be dropping, and does. Bombi gets him, and now Yamate even going to take a lot of damage out of Bombi. Never want to underestimate that level 2 battery assault. So Bombi has already hit that level 3 mark. Might even turn back around now to Yamate, who snuck around, but the Cogs pushback is there from Bombi. They don't have enough mana for another battery assault yet, but the clarity is still going, and they may not even need it. Yamate does die anyway to Russman. On the brighter side though, bot lane, Red did end up going down to Mosin for New Esports, so it's not all bad for New Esports.
No, they're finding trades here and there for both New and 496. Both of their safe lanes are having a good time, really even in farm. I think the one issue right now is perhaps the mid. I mean, DDZ is not too far behind Hung. It looks like about a creep wave difference. But Hung has gotten some space out now in the Monkey. So he's going to be approaching his level 6 mark. Probably not going to go for the Wukongs until 8 or 9, maybe even 10. But this does set him up for the accelerated farm you want to see from that hero. And at some point, Hung, he can start looking to side lanes, make an appearance, jump to the tree line. You have to be really cautious here, and you keep track of where the Monkey King goes around.
Lance still having his mana trained there by Red. It's just so funny to see, because it kind of makes sense, right? You just can't spam Mystic Stake now. Eventually Red's going to be able to just maintain himself in the lane, and now even Hung's going to rotate on the Monkey. Onto Lance. Fortune's End's going to fly out, and they're just going to rush him. Lance. It's an early rotation now from Hung, but it does pay off.
I mean, he's got that level 6 timer, you know? It's level 3 Jingu, you've got level 2 in Boundless, you've got a value point in Tree Dance to make this happen, although Bombi.
Spot of danger, he does have help coming in, but it may not matter. Here's your Jingu Mastery coming out from Hung. Onto DDZ. Takes him out. So far, a great start for this Monkey King.
Those are costly mistakes for you to make. They're just being really worked here by 496. Bombi's just been on point with his clock. I mean, the top lane, his positioning has been great. His timing in the mid lane has been great as well. So, Hung, he's off to a really fast start. He's going for that diffusal buildup. Once you've got that, you don't need the mana burn on your Doom. You can just burn him down with your right clicks.
I love it. It's just... Are they really going to go 2 diffusals? Like,
yeah, I think so. Like, you've got to, right? It's a Medusa. You just take out the mana. She's kind of useless. It's like a glorified range creep.
It's just such a basic idea, though. Like, you'd think it'd be a bit more complicated than that, but they're just going to go straight up double diffusal blades and just drain the mana of the Medusa the whole game. I love it, though. I love the simplicity in it. If it works, it works. Nothing wrong with that.
And Hung is still looking for more. I mean, he feels strong, so he can go around. Doesn't dodge a magic missile, though, but you can see he's done with mid. He doesn't care that DDZ finds farm. He wants to keep track of Lance. You cannot allow the Medusa to have any form of good ramp up. And in that sense, 496, they've been on point with at least keeping track there. You would like to see New kind of give that same fight back up top. But Candy.
Bombi. One of his kisses flying in. He will go down. Trying to get that Phoenix again, but Candy did have the Icarus Dive and the Egg for that matter. It was always going to be just safe. So nice little rotation out now from our Snap. And DDZ, I don't even know if he went that far. He's been trying to farm these stacks. He was probably shooting it from this range.
Yeah, surrounding you, Green Spot, and he's going for the Necronomicon.
Whoa.
On the Snap.
On bot lane, Mosin going to be caught out here. Rossman will join in, and Mosin going to go down. They even get the Spectre kill going, so another nice little kill out for Rossman. They might even start on the bot T1 tower push for a bit. Why the hell not?
Yeah, they could get some good damage in. You do have New Esports also positioned up top to get some damage out. DDZ's around. He's got 1 point in the little shredder to do some chip damage. And they can get started. It's only Bombi here to defend. Not much a Clockwork can do in this case.
No. Candy is at that 7 mark now as well on the Phoenix, so those Fire Spirits do a lot of damage. Still, Bombi going to keep tabs with that Rocket Flare and just know where they are. There are a lot of heroes coming up here. Bombi, he's a little bit cautious about how far he goes. As now Yamate will get the Avalanche and the Cookie in. Still, Red's going to come in with the Doom on the Phoenix. He wants a trade for that Clockwork kill, and Hung's even going to jump in now on the Monkey King. But are they going to be able to catch anyone out? Still chasing down that Phoenix, and they do get the Balance Strike off. Red will eventually just pick up the kill with the Doom damage. You'd say that's a pretty decent trade for 496.
Yeah, it's an off lane for a support. You're not going to mind that at all. You're building up on Hung. You're building up in Red. This is a pretty good start for them. They aren't quite on top in net worth, though. There's a slight edge there for New Esports. But I don't think 496 is too worried about it. Their early game is supposed to be the one that's not as great. And of course, the Medusa does farm fairly efficiently. Lance does have space now to just farm up. There are no wards here from 496, so that's a bit of a mistake. Not keeping track of that jungle area for the Medusa. And if you allow Lance to just sit like this, I think you're in for a world of hurt. So at some point, you're going to have to jump in and intercept. I am still wondering what the heck is up with DDZ. Necronomicon snap.
Yeah, it's a new one, John.
I don't know. It's strange, I think, is a very, very neutral way to say it. There it is. Book 1.
I mean, it gives you more push, I guess, but it really doesn't make any sense. When you do look at the side of new esports with their draft, though, they are lacking push. Like Red, nice juke out with that cookie, but Mortimer's kisses are coming in, and Red can't survive the damage output from the Snapfire. I guess it makes some sense though, John, because they don't really have great push on the side of new esports. So they need something up until this Medusa is ready to go.
Yeah.
I suppose for DDZ, this is the idea. Just use the Necro Book.
I suppose. They do take the tier 1 bot now, 496. They're going to go for the trade up top. Do find it. But I think this is a bit better for 496. They're invading that jungle. You don't want to really have Lance around here, so it's time to ditch that bot jungle, and they're hunting.
Candy gonna get spotted. Primal Spring in with the Boundless Strikeout and the Fortune's End, but he's already Icarus sniped away, so the Fortune's End does connect, and that BB looks for the Purifying Flames, but no, they get the hook shot. They'll want to give it to Russman, but the egg came off. I guess it's one positive is they might waste the egg, or maybe not the cookie.
What?
DDZ was there in time. Oh, they wanted to give the kill away to Russman.
Oh, that's just too greedy. Bombi shouldn't have run. Like, if they got that one right click off, that egg would have been gone, the fight would have fallen apart. Now, because of that, DDZ immediately gets level 2 Necronomicon.
Yamate still gonna get caught out. Cookie is there, but he will still go down to the Boundless Strike of Hung. And yeah, like you said, Necro 2 book now on DDZ. Just such a weird build. What is happening today?
I think he was... a while ago, I thought I saw what he was trying. So he gets up the Necronomicon, creep, feeds them the cookie, gets a stun, plays by himself. But you could do that with like a Dominator. You don't necessarily need investment in a Necro book. See, I think your point with the push is working out. They have been able to find objectives like this. 496 are 2k behind now. So they smoke up. They still have the Doom. They can try making something happen here.
They're going to give it a shot. Into the mid lane they go, but Hung has to be a bit cautious not to die himself. Try on Candy Learn. Shot, perfect from Bombi with the Boundless Strikeout, and now the Conks push back, and the follow-up stun from Red should be enough, and is. Candy does go down. There is a counter smoke out from New Esports, and they're going to make it over to Rusma to try and get an even better kill now on the Spectre. They might just get there as well as he's getting low. He'll try to dagger away, but he cannot. Still Hung. Wukong's command to come out. They get the Doom off on the Medusa. They'll get Mosin as well on the bench, but Hung is very, very low in terms of HP and will die to DDZ. And now even Red getting tossed into DDZ on the Snapfire, getting blocked up. He'll get a false promise, and they'll keep trying to go 496 with Bombi running into the clockwork. He'll go on to Yamate. It'll be a 1-for-1 so far. Red, he'll try to make a run now that he is healthy, but he's not that healthy, so he can't fight back. They'll get Bombi. The only one left is going to be Red on the Doom. That is a successful team fight for New Esports.
Yeah, they win in a big way. Really good use of that first Stone Gaze coming out from Lance, and 496, the fight's just kind of falling flat. They're not finding the initiation they want. They desperately need an initiation tool on Red. They need a blink up on the Doom. He is working on Pipe first, but they are losing a lot of ground.
Another great cookie out from DDZ into the swap of Mosin. New Esports into that tier 1 mid tower, and it looks like they're just going to be able to take it. Lance even joining in now on the Medusa. Top of the net worth board. 496, they are starting to fall behind.
Yeah, it's looking pretty bad now. They're not quite finding the earlier success that they had. It looks like New Esports does have their number. Russman's still trying to farm up, though, into the Manta style for him. So it's a Manta rush, maybe the Diffusal down line, maybe not. Just opting to skip it altogether. We'll find out. They should maintain control in their jungle. You really need to play catch-up. What?
Cookie again does actually land perfectly onto that BB. He's going to try and escape a Bombi. Gets it with a hook shot into the double conks. But the Avalanche is going to be up from Tiny, and now the egg is being committed. 496. They're going to try and rush the Phoenix egg, but a 3-man Cookie up from DDZ. Can they fight back, however? New. They are dropping like flies now. Mosen trying to run, but cannot. A double kill out for Hung. Lance, he came, but he was just a bit too late. Yamate, however, Avalanche toss going to kill off Hung and the Monkey King. But they overextend a little bit there, 496. It's still going to be a 2 for 3 trade. You didn't really have to lose Hung. You could have avoided that.
Yeah, it's not quite how they wanted that exchange to go, so they don't lose too much from you because of that kill. It kind of offsets their losses. And you can see that 496, they're just trying to buy Risman some space here. They fight, Risman sits back, he pops the haunt, maybe comes in, goes back to farming. That's all you want from that. Spectre, New, and they're stalling out here for Lance as well. While your Spectre farms, the Medusa farms as well. There's a back and forth between those cores. 496 have taken control of that jungle for a bit, but it doesn't look like New Esports will let them maintain that control for long.
Probably not. New is definitely back at it now. Six. Still wanting to keep up the aggression. They need to make more space for their Spectre. Rusman does not feel safe on the Spectre right now, even in that mid lane. He's going to be forced to back off as he does see the side of New Esports. At least now he does have the man to style up. He's going to be stuck just trying to farm in this jungle area in the triangle of the Dire.
Yeah, it's gonna be the defusal next for Rusman. So they actually are just going all in on that mic, just burning through that Lance Medusa, getting the mana off. We'll see how that pays off down the line if it does come in. There is a smoke from 496. They don't quite have Haunt, so Rusman's not going to join in, but they managed to spot the Roach with a good scan.
They have. Rocket Player's going to be out as well, but New Esports not quite backing off yet. Lance getting... Oh, he's getting double bashed. Smoke up. Bombi looking to break that smoke. Not going to see anyone yet. Just waiting on the other side of the river, but Avalanche tosses there. That BB trying to survive but cannot, and now Bombi going to hookshot it anyway. Hung. Not Primal Spring. They want to leave. That might mean New Esports may be able to just go back into the Roshan pit if they want. Or try to force a team fight. That's what they're going to try and do. Hung, Avalanche tossed. He'll go for the balance and the Wukong's command. Is it going to last long enough though? The egg has been dropped. Rusman trying to focus it down, but the swap from Mosen going to make sure the egg survives. They've dropped two. Rusman trying to run, but they have the Sunray to follow up, and that means it might even be a full team wipe as Red gets tossed back. He gets a good stun off on the Doom, but it may not matter. In fact, the Fate's Edict is going to keep them safe from that BB. But they lose another 3 heroes. Certainly very, very bad news here for 496.
It's a massive loss for them. New Esports, they find some big kills. They go back in the pit. You do still have Doom, but the respawns are a bit too long. Maybe you make a play here with Bombi. He is TPing in. They don't want that rush to go for free.
I think you just go with Bombi. Just leave everyone else out of the pit. Just try for the Aegis still if you are the Clockwork. Problem is the Aegis is getting very low, and the side of New Esports are watching all avenues of entry. It'd be a pretty hard hookshot to make in anyway. Let's just take the Aegis for free. That'll go onto Lance. This Medusa, John, he's getting close to that Eye of Skadi build up now. Almost has that second ultimate orb. Once that's up, you start to really question how much further 496 can push this draft. They're already just so far behind as it is.
Yeah, they need some... not some, they need a lot of farm coming out here for their Spectre. Rusman has to be on point with his efficiency and...
That'll be alright. I thought there was more in that mid lane.
playing tag a bit still. The progression here for 496 stalled out a bit. Like, this is 6k behind with a Doom, and you love to point it out, but Doom has devoured. You should be maintaining a little bit more gold on your side here for 496. It's not quite up there. In fact, red is the poorest core in this map, so it's not been a good time. And the shove up top, they're not going to stop it.
No, they're not. We haven't even seen a Stone Gaze this game yet.
No.
Like, we haven't seen one. Lance has not needed to use it. Tier 2 top tower gonna go down very, very easily. Rocket Flare gonna come in but does nothing. They're trying to get a push in that mid lane, but Yamate's just gonna clean that up with the Tiny. 496, they just need to buy time. Like, you've got a less than 9k Spectre, now 9k. Still trying to work towards the Diffusal Blade, but by the time that's up, you question whether it's going to be enough, John. Like, you just popped the Stone Gaze.
Yeah, it's feeling like the timing's a bit off. They get a good scan here to spot the movements of New, but I'm not 100% sold on the Diffusal because there's that Scotty you were mentioning. So it's up and running in Lance. He's got even more stats. He's got a lot of durability on hand. I'm looking at DDZ. He's got a Solar Crest with a Necronomicon, so it's more of a utility snap coming out here, not about the gulp. It has been working out though. They've really managed to make this one work. They're just finding these tier 2s in 496. They know they can't defend. They just have to play it safe and keep farming.
I actually kind of like this from DDZ though. Like, the fact that he can control the Necro unit so he can land the cookie properly. And even the Solar Crest, right? You just buff up Lance, he takes towers faster. It's a really clever kind of use of this core Snapfire that we haven't seen yet. But it is pretty efficient from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's less flashy. I think it's really just going down to giving them that ability to take these objectives, and it really has enabled that push. Like, you wouldn't be able to get this done without the Necro tree up. So we're at 22 minutes in, 2 lanes completely gone except for the tier 3s. They only hold on to the bot tier 1 here for 496. Map space is limited to farm up. You are making steady progress for Rusman's Diffusal Blade, so that's going to be up at some point.
Although they saw him, Yamate knows Hung's in there. He'll jump out of the tree. That'll be enough.
Yeah, I mean, they're keeping really good track of these heroes from 496. Hung just can't go out and farm safely even. So just limited map space, 496. I mean, they smoke up. They just want to reveal these items. They still have the Aegis. Not much risk here.
No, there is not. Into the die triangle they go. Maybe not. They'll hold out for now. They are hesitating a bit to go to that high ground. They'll eventually make it up and spot out Bobby, so they'll just go for the easy avalanche toss kill. Lance will go ahead and take it on the Medusa. Lance is going to have the butterfly up at a decent time at this rate. Like, he just... With the way this game's going, in fact, butterfly, he just bought a Demon Edge. Does he want an MKB?
Perhaps? Yeah, it's an MKB. He switches it out. So he's going to go for that stable source of damage. They maintain control on the triangle. They take tier 1. Only a tier 2 left in the bot lane here for 496 across the entire map. Just really limited in farm. The Diffusal for Rusman's about 300 gold off. So you're going to have that running through spec, but with the timings here, with the tier 3s being pushed in now, 496 will be forced to defend soon.
Lance just taking out half its HP already. Still has the Aegis, they'll jump in with the Doom now. Just try and take him out, but they'll turn around and fight. Wukong's command is committed by Hung. It's a nice one as well. They do get Mosin on the Snapfire. Now onto DDZ, but the egg is going to pop from Candy Loon with all the Fire Spirits to fly out. They've almost got Bombi in that Clockwork, but the False Promise is going to be there from that BB to try and save. But Hung on the Monkey is going to be the first one to go down. Lance, he's just fine. He popped the Stone Gaze, it was wasted a bit, and he is a bit low on mana. But apart from that, he's going to get this tier 3 tower. They're not even going to try and reset. They'll just go after the mid-rats.
Yeah, I mean, those were all the big spells blown. And oh.
Nice toss back from Yamate. Will be that baby going down. That'll be your mid-rats gone. New esports. I mean, they're looking strong. New esports.
Yeah. It's on point. They just hit and run all the way back. Really unfortunate timing. Lance's Aegis expired, and oh no.
Bombi trying to go for the hook cancellation. Maybe they can get Lance here, but Lance, oh, with that Mystic Snake, heals up quite a bit of mana. Still trying to just walk out of this one. He needs some help. There's not much help on the way, so they might actually kill off the Medusa, but nice swap out from Mosen, buying time. Eventually, Russman does get there on the Spectre, and now the Boundless Strike is out from Hung. They will also kill off Mosen. So 2 big pickoffs there for our Spectre. Does give him a fair bit of gold, but when you look over to the Medusa, John, the MKB is now completed.
Yeah, it's really hard to fight into Lance now. Like, Russman is making some steady progress. Looks like he's going for the Scotty next. So just raw stats, trying to get to the point where he's also really tanky on that spec. It's going to be a while until that's up. But 496 are hanging in. It's a 10k deficit though. New esports are still very far ahead. And DDZ, I'm happy to say, Mike, he is queuing up the Ags next. So we are going to see the Ags come out at some point.
I mean, why not, right? Like, if you're a utility Snapfire, you may as well have the Aghanim Scepter as well, but Han, DD Rune. But DDZ goes for the Primal Spring and the Purge. Bombi is there with the Cogs pushback, and they will get them in Snapfire. Mosen, he has a swamp. Does get a stun off onto Hung. Force it to BKB, but now Red's going to jump in with the Doom out on the Phoenix. Avalanche going to slow things down, but Hung back in there. Back onto that Phoenix, but there's Lance now with the Stone Gaze. Hung, False Promise, going to buy him more time to chase down this Phoenix, but Candy is now no longer doomed, and it looks pretty bad for 496 as they do fall apart. An immediate smoke out from New Esports as they are going to rush down the mid lane. And I believe that means tier 4 towers, John.
Oh yeah, they're just going for the jugular here. They know there's no Doom, and that's a big part of 496's team fight. There's no buybacks here as well. They're just gonna get what they can. If not the tier 4s, then they can just go up top, as the creep wave should allow them to go in. Yeah, safer play, but still not something 496 can stop.
It's true. Tier 3, not going to last very long. On to the Rats. It's very surgical play here for New Esports. They do end up killing off that entire top Rats now. And 496, I mean, they're just watching them. They know they can't initiate right now. They won't be able to punish either. New just going to walk out of there for free. They can just set up for the next Roshan. It's already up.
Yeah, perfect timing for them. There's some pressure here for 496. They really can't allow this one to slide away. They don't have a TP point in the outpost as well. That was taken off. They should be aware the rush is happening. They need to play with these flares. Bombi has to keep that vision up. But it falls way too fast here from you. They're probably not going to make it in time.
They're not even trying. Like, they're smoked up down to the bot lane. They don't know what's happening. It's too late. Get easy, taking the Aegis on the Snapfire of all things. Makes enough sense, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Gives them some leeway with how far forward DDZ can be. Still, there's a smoke.
What's Hung gonna do? Trying to wait to see if they'll go high ground. No, it looks like they won't. Group up to the bot lane and might start setting up for that tier 2 tower push down to that bot lane. That's the smarter way to play it anyway for New Esports. You're not really going to be able to get any objectives if you don't. So, I'm going to try, but 496 look like they're ready to try and defend this bottom tier 2 tower. If they lost this fight, however, they only have 2 buybacks. Maybe a third coming soon on the Oracle.
It's a risky spot to force a big fight out, but
they jump in. Red is trying to get the Doom off, but no, the Avalanche toss is there. And now the Stone Gaze Lance has got a perfect. Rossmann, he's been false promised, but it won't matter. He's losing everyone around him. Hung will buy back immediately. They got the Doom on the Doosa. She will not die, however. Now Bombi, who's still trying to fight this one out, is probably just going to go down on the clock. On the brighter side, John, they got all their buybacks available before that team fight happened. So they can defend high ground, but they call GG.
Ooh, new. I mean, again, they played the series yesterday, Mike. They did take that 2-0 in the best of 2. 4-9-6, it doesn't look like their situation's any better. Now, to be fair to 4-9-6, they are playing with an additional sub. That is affecting the chemistry a bit, but they've got to step up to the plate. They've got to do something here. Their playoff life is on the line, and you esports are not going to give any breathing room here. Really good showing in game number 1.
Let's see what they can do in game number 2.
1500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Zep misses again, but there's the invest bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no infest, he has the armlet toggle, needs to be careful, the spirit type coming out, the glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the grave off in time though, the open wounds will come through, they have the kinetic shield, there's the black hole, from the long ground! On to 3! Step as well as number 1 are gonna get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me? From the low ground.
DJ, God, the crowd here just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got it smoked. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Showit looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Showit pops the refresher. Not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tong Fu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. How? Brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tong Fu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. There it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. He just goes to Tong Fu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed the Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it, going to be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi's down. Can you say Mega Creeps? Navi, he got him! One more! This is what you call one for the road!
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. one. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dandy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with this BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent. Cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side. They find Arme. Arme's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment. And all the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kunkka. The stolen Vision Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
But this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out. Get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, Blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. They're going to fight Samel. The Cogs Burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Samel down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see. CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dodge! In from Universe! Into disaster! CDEC! They're going to get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses. And now they will take Roshan. Samel is back, they'll get the Aegis of the Immortal. OG right behind Arme. Gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find the stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the back line. The BKB, they're into the back line. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. ES is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Arme from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Arme, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches to life. Arme's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. 7 from the side with a take on Arme, but no! Thunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Marana. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the Echo Slam. Oh, there it is. Forward. There's your slam. There's the dunk. There's the play. Jirax, the savior of OG.
1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Seth misses again, but there's the invest bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no infest, he has the armlet toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the grave off in time though, the open wounds will come through, they have the kinetic shield. There's the black hole, from the low ground, on to 3, Step as well as M1 are gonna get chewed down, 3 dead, Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd, he just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Showit looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Showit pops the refresher. Not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. Howl brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. There it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he gets, no, he doomed the Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it, going to be telekinesis back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook, got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi is down. Can you say mega creeps? Navi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dandy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead for
5
IG.
heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with his BKB. They turn it around.
They look like a really darn good team, and they are on today. They brought their A game out. 496 has to step up to the plate. I think this draft shakeup might help them out a bit. They do get the Mars first, perhaps eyeing the Phoenix combination with it, but New Esports are ready. They've got the snap on hand, and we saw DDZ do some rather interesting build there that does pay off. We'll see if they will go back that route. I mean, I want to be fair to 496. We talked a little bit about it in the first game, but they do have Rusman standing in here. And just remember, 496, they're an all Vietnamese team, and this probably does impact their comms a lot. So it's harder to synchronize. It's a lot harder to play fully as a team. It's a big factor there, but you can't let that take away from you esports playing extremely well as well. So there's a lot here for 496 to overcome, but they're going to have to overcome it, Mike. If they don't, then they're out of here.
They are. They might have to just simplify the draft a little bit as well, right? Like, if you are going to have some communication issues with Rusman, obviously you haven't played a lot with the guy in the side of 496. So it can be a bit tough. You might want to just kind of make it a simpler draft. Unlike last game where it did seem a little complicated. You had the Spectre, you had the Monkey King going. Just very all over the place for 496. See if they can simplify a bit here for the second game and try to force to a game number 3. But new esports, their second pickup, they'll see the Mars, they'll see the Disruptor. You could just take the Phoenix yourself if you wanted. New esports here, and they will not. They'll take the Void.
I like that a lot more. I think it's pretty darn potent when you've got the Snap on your side. You will worry about perhaps this Disruptor, right? Static Storm on top of the enemy's Chrono is pretty devastating. The Void would not want to stand in that. So 496 does have something to deal with it. I think they did ban out the Oracle and Venge though. So you're not going to have the swap save. You're not going to have the disarm from that Oracle. They kind of trapped themselves into that Faceless Void pickup.
They have. 496 now going to have to work out their ban stage. So they are already thinking about the third ban out, but they'll get rid of the Invoker now, so just removing any more Void Void combinations.
Yep.
Thing is, the Snapfire Void is already so strong. I don't really think you need anything else as long as you get those Mortimer's Kisses off.
Yeah, it's pretty good by itself. I think New probably isn't looking for combos there. They're probably just maybe looking for more control. A supports that can really enable the Void are going to be important here. We still need to see if these are 2 core pickups for new esports to start. But I mean, like Snap mid faces Void safe is already defined. So you leave yourself in an awkward spot for the second phase pickups if those are 2 cores. Of course, they're going to have to hammer in what goes into mid later on. But considering how DDZ performed, I think you would be very comfy with just going back to the Snap. He is very flexible with his build. Again, they went for a push build on their Snap last time. I think you can still opt for that if you feel like you need it here. So there's still some options. I'm surprised that the Phoenix is being left in by both sides. I mean, you have a Mars Phoenix combo for 496, and you have a Chrono Phoenix combo here for new esports. So both sides are probably going to have to ban it out if they don't want to pick it up themselves.
They may. 10 seconds. I wonder how it feels to try and draft up against 496, right? Like, even if you did win that game number 1, it must be somewhat confusing to know what to get rid of for new esports here. Like that, the Naga Siren gets removed, and it's kind of like, I get the Disruptor Naga combination's a thing, but we haven't seen 496 run it at all. But I guess we could see it happen from this team, because they always seem to switch up the strategy quite a bit throughout their games. It's a very interesting team to have to draft against. They are 496.
Yep. They can be a tricky one. You know, I would love to see, for 496, I think it's time to bring out the big guns, Mike. Maybe a Bombi Wind Ranger could make an appearance here. Just to kind of go all in and trying to play to their strengths. And Bombi is a fantastic, Wind Ranger. Of course, they have to ban out the Phoenix, as New Esports does have first pick next. So they could easily have hammered in the Chrono and the Egg combo, which is really devastating, along with the Snapfire Kisses. Way too much to handle. Keeping it safe. We'll see how it develops. One more ban for New, and then they get to start to hammer in whether or not the Snap is a support.
5 seconds. Final ban out for New. Radiant must choose. Get rid of the Conquer. So you might want to just go for your position 4. Surprisingly, the Tiny is still available. So if you want to just pick a pos 4 Tiny, it doesn't seem all too bad. You've got the Void to toss into as well, but no, they'll go for an Earth Spirit pickup. Alright, so just really building onto that team fight now, and we once again have 2 heroes that could be in the mid lane already with the Earth Spirit Snapfire, or 2 heroes that can be played as supports. Is really making these drafts quite complicated now, as you just never really know where they're going. Just way too flexible.
Yeah, definitely is. I would still prefer a snap mid. I think overall that's a much more domineering. 496 though, they go with something else that can counter the Face's Void. Winter Wyvern makes its appearance, so you've got this pretty decent combination. Winter's Curse, and then you follow with an arena into all of them afterwards. I think that's one way to play this here. Would have to watch your spacing. So you've got a bit of a decision to make here for Lance when he goes in. He has to find a Winter Wyvern, ensure that he can get the Chrono onto her, blow her up first before committing the Chrono, because Winter's Curse will just ruin that. Really good pickup for 496. Makes it harder for Lance to commit. We'll see what else comes out. New Bat Rider. All right, so the Bat Rider in there. It's still not defining how these lanes go out, right? Like the Bat Rider can also be mid, it can be off, it can be support. They're keeping it flexible, maybe a bit too flexible. These heroes, the Earth Spirit and Bat, they do not like competing against each other for farm if they are both supports.
Yep.
Although it is, I feel like it should be a Bat off with a Snap mid, but maybe you just have a Snap and Earth Spirit support duo, the Bat Rider mid, something else picked, or the Bat Rider off and something else picked for mid. Really way too open for new. Could be punished. 496 might be able to find some holes there. You didn't ban anything that can really purge off, although there's no real room for an LC here, fortunately, or an Abaddon. Gonna have to find another way to break that lasso off.
I mean, they could pick an LC, but you'd be forced to run it mid or safe lane, which is, you know, I wouldn't put it past 496 if they would do that. They're the kind of team that would try it out, but it's definitely not a great idea. They have 30 seconds reserve time for this this fourth pickup now, and they are gonna go for the Lifestealer. Okay. I mean, you still got the problem of the Void and the Bat Rider being able to just lasso or chrono you as the Lifestealer, but that is what they decide to go back to. It does feel a bit weak, though, into the Void and Bat Rider, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's it. There are a few holes there for 496. I do agree with you, it's pretty weak against the Void and Bat. I think this might just be a comfort pick for Risman. I remember watching a lot of Risman Lifestealer way back in the day. Of course, that was when Maelstrom was a bit stronger as well. So that was way back, but it can still be effective. We've seen it do work. I think the laning phase is a bit more stable when you have this Lifestealer, so you don't worry about gank opportunities coming out here too much. I'm surprised that 496 themselves ban out the LC, so they don't have any tool to break that lasso up safely besides glimpsing back the Bat. And that is their best chance of breaking that lasso off from you. We'll see what develops. They're probably looking for a mid hero here. Maybe one of the Spirit Brothers to get themselves a natural vehicle for the Lifestealer. Perhaps even something like a Quap or Puck just to have that initiation on hand as well. All viable options. They've got a lot of work to put in here. Hung, he didn't have a bad time in the first game. I think he was off to a pretty fantastic start. I think you want to maintain that if you're 496.
That's the thing, right? Like, they did have a great start on that Monkey King, but it just never translated to anything in the mid to late game. He's got to try and have a bit of a better game this time around. And interestingly enough, 496 are the ones to ban out the LC on their end of things now, this last ban stage. Couple more to go. 17 seconds reserve time for 496, so not much time to think about this one. Looking for some kind of... Who knows what they're even trying to ban now. Like, the Night Stalker gets removed, but it's like the Snapfire could be mid, the Bat Rider, the Earth Spirit, any of them could be mid. You don't know what role you're banning anymore. New esports, their final ban out. Does seem like they are still lacking a mid hero for 496. Theirs seems to be a lot more obvious.
I'd say a Storm would be a safe ban out. Just again, taking out the Lifestealer vehicle. They already yeah, there you go. Storm ban out. No Lifestealer vehicle here except for a Quap.
Yep.
Or an Ember. I don't know about the Ember against Bat Faces Void. That's also dicey. So I think the Quap's the best choice you've got. Plays nicely with the aggression of the Mars and the team fight you get with the Disruptor Winter Wyvern. You can play on top of that Quap. Just play very quick for Hung.
Final pickup now for 496. So we need this mid pickup now. 5 seconds left to make the pick. Okay, they'll go for the Pugna, which is fairly interesting. We haven't seen much of it. Obviously, the Decrepify is quite nice into the Void, and it does play fast. I don't really see too many other reasons for it, though, if I'm honest.
It's just a Void counter. I think it's the Decrep, maybe the push you get. It's not a vehicle. Like there's just no vehicle for the Life Sealer here. That's a bit of a concern. We tend to see a Clockwork with the Life Sealer, or the Storm, or the Puck, or the Quap. So it's going to be a bit of work to get Rustman to the front lines. I think that's one cause of concern. New. They see the Pugna. That's more than likely mid. I think you're happy with either the Earth Spirit or Snap mid. I think you can definitely run with either one. Even the Bat Rider mid. That might be a bit dicier, but can still work. I mean, you said it, but it's pretty confusing as to what New Esports wants to close out with. The only thing I know they lack is like a dedicated 5, but you could kind of go greedy with your supports here as well.
True. They'll spend a bit of time thinking about this one. I do believe they still want some kind of like stronger mid for New Esports. You probably don't want to run Snapfire into Pugna, because you will probably take a lot of Nether Blasts, as your attack rate is quite short. But no, there's a Bounty Hunter out now. I don't know, John. I don't know what New Esports is up to. They've got a Bounty Hunter out. Yamate's going to play the support bounty. All right, so we saw the position 1 Bounty Hunter out of Boom Esports. But Yamate's going to play the support Bounty Hunter, and with this kind of draft, they can really take off with those track kills if they get going.
Yeah, they certainly can. I love the snowball potential coming out here. I'm 496. I think they've got to be playing on point. There's a lot more pressure in them to land their spells as a counter fight coming in. Support bounty with a Bat Rider support as well, Mike. That's pretty greedy though from you. They've got to space this one out. This is something 496 can play against now. They can punish the greedy supports. They have a good position to get their own snowball starting here. Their lanes are pretty potent with the Disruptor Winter Wyvern going around with their cores. New Esports has to be a bit cautious in the early game. There are ways to play around this, and I have to say that Bat Rider that Bat Rider mount, Mike, it's disgusting.
It is pretty revolting. I haven't seen that one before, I'll be honest, John. And probably a good reason why is because of how it looks. It's a scary one. Not as revolting as the Earth Spirit set, though, John. Also pretty revolting. We don't have any alternatives, though, which is the difference.
Yeah, that's... I mean, it could be worse, right? You could have the actual, like, stone head, the Aztec head. That one's just, you know... I'd say this is better. This is a step up, at least, Mike.
It is.
At least. And, yeah, I mean, we know what both sides want to do now. Kind of went over it. I have to say it's disappointing Yamate has no sets in the bounty. That guy has a lot of bling. It's a very default look for Yamate. He's keeping it simple. You know? Yeah. He wants to show off with his plays, Mike, not with his looks.
Well, that new Bounty Hunter set looks really nice. The one we recently received, but we don't get to see it on Yamate.
Yep.
Still, we'll see how well he performs in this support Bounty Hunter. It's been such a long time since we've seen something like this come out. It's hard to imagine it doing too much work, but again, if you do just get the tracks off, it can be enough to be effective. Like, that's all that's required. I'm just going to track people, give gold to my team, I'll throw a shuriken here and there, maybe scout out with my invis. That's all he needs to do.
Yep. Pretty much. He just needs the EXP to get that done. And he sets himself up well here. I mean, you start with the Boots of Speed, you move at 360. Neither of the supports of 4 and 6 are quick at all. In fact, neither of them are. No boot starts for either of these supports. So whoever goes top, well, you're going to be copying right clicks from a bounty. And if Yamate starts with that Janata first, you're going to lose a lot of gold in the process.
True. I believe Yamate will be focused in on just trying to snipe some couriers on this bounty hunter to get started. Which is why that ward is so strong, the one he did just place. Just be annoying as possible, right? Like, that's what the bounty's really good at, is just be annoying and pesky.
Yep. That's the game plan. And we'll see how far Yamate can push it, of course. they are starting to drag your lanes out. They actually put red up top. You're putting the Mars up against that lane of Yamate and Candy Loon. I think that's one way to mitigate the impact of the snap. You put something super tanky in front. Red, by the time he hits a level 4 with maybe 1 value point in the bulwark, is going to have a bit of a better time there. They're also dragging up Bombi. So the only worry here is Bombi, the Winter Wyvern again, that moves at 285. Yamate moves at 360. If he just wants to go for the Janata play, you're not going to get too much done here as the Winter Wyvern.
No, you're not. Red for now is just going to dance around in circles. Yamate did go for the Janata, and he'll just keep whacking away on Red. You'll have Bombi coming in to help out a bit. Red's going to need it. In that mid lane, Hung, and DDZ are going to be up against each other. Bit of a switch up here, but the Earth Spirit is mid up against the Pugna. He does roll straight into Hung. I suppose if you are aggressive enough up against this Pugna, you can dish out quite a bit of damage, and of course the Nether Blast is only going to get worse as time goes on in terms of its damage output. So DDZ, he's going to get as much harass out as possible early on.
Yeah, it's a fairly even lane for both sides. I think the power spikes line up pretty nicely. You're not going to stop the Pugna for the most part from getting these last hits, but DDZ shouldn't struggle too much as long as he watches his spacing. So we'll see how it unfolds. Have to say, first time seeing the Pugna Immortal as well, so we'll see how the life drain looks down the line. It looks really funny though, that one. It's bigger than the hero model. It looks so dumb. So dumb.
They do end up tipping Rusman. No, not even him. It's the Dat Baby Disruptor up towards that top lane, and they're going to leave Rusman down bot by himself. Yamate is going to make his rotation over on the bounty now as well. So the lifesteal is kind of stuck here on his own at the moment. Not sure about this from 496. Seems like a bit of a losing strategy, if anything. But Mosen, top lane, is going to get picked off. So it does pay off for now. And Bombi will take the kill on the Wyvern. But are they really going to leave this lifestealer to be by himself this whole time? No, Bombi will TP back.
Alright, looks like a lane swap for the supports. So it's the lifestealer plus Winter Wyvern lane. Lance, I think in this circumstance, you will have to watch your use of Time Walk. As long as whenever the Arctic Burn is up and it's Splinter Blast lands, you have to be conscious about your spacing. That is something you will have to sort of deal with. You've got Yamate to help relieve that pressure. And Bombi's still pretty slow. So Yamate can keep playing that Janata game, steal some gold off, and continue to get some steady EXP.
Even Lance getting involved now, trying to get some bashes. Does get one on Rossman. Yamate going to move back in, take more gold away from the poor lifestealer. And that's going to really suck as well. Like, when you're not really CSing very nicely, and he's taking more gold away from you, it's just such an annoying hero to play against, the support bounty hunter. But I do miss it, if I'm honest, John. I miss playing support bounty.
You could play it. It has a positive win rate in pubs, I'll be frank with you.
Does it really?
Yeah, at last I checked, in Divine it should be at around 50 plus. And lower levels it's like 54-ish, 52 maybe if it's stabilized. So it's in a good spot. You just don't see it in pro games, but Yamate is really leveraging it. He just keeps going in. There's no way they can punish. Like, they just don't have Arctic Burn. There's no man on Bombi. You don't expect Rusman to really open wounds the bounty hunter. He is too quick, so that's just something they have to kind of watch out for. 496. This also kind of ties into rotation to power runes. Like, Yamate just gets to run down with the invis, and they should be able to find this.
He's going to contest here with Hung. He'll wait to see if he can give it over to his mid-earth spirit, and he will take it. Hung will find out the hard way after using his last bottle charge. It's just a nice little efficiency play out of Yamate, even just waiting for that last bottle charge to be expended first before he takes it off the Pugna. Into Rossman again to take more gold away. Poor lifestealer. Just can't catch a break. 13 last hits on Rossman. It's getting worse as time goes on, John.
No, it's not getting any better. And I have to say, this Arcane on Yamate keeps his Janata uptime a lot better at level 1, so you've got to contend with that. Again, they just can't punish because you went Rage. You don't have open wounds to slow. You're just kind of stuck in an awkward spot as this lifestealer. The top lane, though, is looking a bit better.
Oh, look at you.
Or as
He's going to try and steal the bounty away from Hung again. And he does not get it. Hung does pick it up. Bombi will now figure out that Yamate was there the whole time. We'll cop a bit of harassment on the way out. But I love the fact that Yamate is trying to make this Pugner's life as hard as possible.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You know, take away the value from the bottle. Try to slow down Hung. If you do allow the Pugner to run away, you're looking at your mid-tier ones potentially being forced down early, and there's that life drain. It looks pretty atrocious. It's like he's vomiting.
It does look like he's vomiting. Oh, goodness me.
Oh, boy.
Top lane.
Oh, top?
Yeah, Red's in trouble. Nice speed back to that tier 1 tower, and Hung's going to TP in. But the best they're probably going to get is Mosin, unless the life drain does last out long enough. But Candy Loon is going to run out of range. Does have a TP as well. And roll in from DDZ. He's going to start another team fight. He'll get that BB. Hung will try and fight back with the life drain, but DDZ will just wait patiently. He'll just wait it out. There's your cookie coming in now with the roll in onto Hung and the scatter blast and the refresh on the magnetize. They'll try to cold embrace. It will not do enough, but maybe Bombi can try to get a clean up here. Problem is that magnetize continues to refresh. Red eventually is going to be able to get Candloon, and Bombi almost goes down to the scatter blast damage, but he will survive.
You're still really happy with New. You drag so many heroes up top once more. You still find the kills in the end. You do trade Candy away, but I mean, you've killed off Hung and you killed off Red. You're definitely on the up end there on that trade, and you give Yamate space down mid. So he's going to have some EXP to grow into that level 6. The 1v1 lane for Rusman and Lance is still very favored for Lance. They need to find something here, 496. They need to just get some farm going on one hero. Maybe play around with a spike that you have on Hung. Try to melt the tower down, but they're just not quite in position to really maximize any of this yet.
No, they're not. It's only getting worse as well. Like, your Pugner hasn't found a kill yet. He's died once. It's rough, right? For Pugner, you generally want to be able to snowball out of control. This is one of the power spikes of the Pugner. He TPs, but the Faded Brooch was left in the neutral camp, but he needs to try and help out this top lane. They're going to go after that Bat Rider, but there's just no damage. That life drain does nothing, and now they're going to roll back in with DDZ onto Red. That'll be Red going down. Hung trying to life drain more, but Mosin is going to be fine, and Hung is going to be chased down by DDZ, and is also going to go down to Candy Loon. And of all things, the one hero they came to help out does survive, but it's your Pulse 5 Disruptor.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I mean, right now they can at least just get some stacks going, try to make some farm happen in the jungle, but there's not much multi-stacks, and with the aggression of New and with this vision Yamate gives out, I'm sure they can really start to spot that out as well. They do manage to find the sentry, so Yamate gets to keep roaming in that triangle. Gonna be a good time for him. They've really maximized this bounty. 496, 3k behind, Mike, at the sub 10 minute mark. This is, I mean, it's not like it's completely unplayable, but even Mosin spots out these stacks, so they're aware. And they should be able to contest down the line.
Yeah, he's napalming them up right now. That's going to force another rotation in. Red's already there. They'll bring that BB. Hung's even going to rotate on the Pugner, and they will surely be able to get this Bat Rider. So, man, that life drain does look really weird.
It looks so bad. Why is it like that? It's... Oh, okay. It's fine. It's fine. They found a kill. 5-4. There's still a 4k lead here from New, and now they're forced to take these stacks. They've got to take it quick. They can't feed any of it towards their life stealer. Rusman's still lagging behind, and man, he is going for a Midas. Mike, this is going to be a slow one. If he does get full use of the Midas, though, down the line, then that's one way to play catch-up if the game does stall out. But this is not a good look. Lifestealer is a hero that wants to play fast. The Midas is going to offset his power spike.
Yeah, it is. It's... Honestly, I think if he does pick up that Midas, I don't know. I mean, you don't want to call it early, but it's really going to put them behind. Like, you're just going to play the farm game with this kind of draft from 496. It's not like Lifestealer's a Spectre, where you can go into that late game and just ensure that you win the game because you went that far into the game. So, top lane, that BB almost goes down to Mosin. Be alright, he'll glimpse back Mosin. Bot lane, Yamate in a spot of danger here, but here comes DDZ with the Magnetize and the roll in. He will still let Yamate die, but he refreshes the Magnetize between all three. Now Lance jumps in for a two-man chrono. Bobby has the curse. He will commit it onto DDZ. Hung's going to come back in. We'll see if they can fight this one out as they do get a nice spear off, but the bottomless kisses start to fly in. DDZ, he will barely die in the Earth Spirit. Hung will go down, however, on the Pugner, and Lance, he's just going to clean up. Bombi, gonna get bashed, he's gone. That BB, he's the only one to survive with the Disruptor. But that is a very rough time if you are 496.
Oh yeah, it's going kind of south here for 496. Really big kills coming out for Lance. I mean, they still find trades, so there is potential there, and New have to not slip up too much. But they're getting some steady farm. 5k lead now at the 10-11 minute mark. I look at Candy Loon Mike, he's 2 parts off the Ags. So you're going to have the Ags rush on that snap soon. You're going to have the initiation to get your Faces Void in a good spot. We've seen the combination with a Kisses Chrono. It's just devastating. And now, Yamate has track up. So you can start racking on those track builds, and you've got to be very careful 406 with trading like this, because they can start to widen that gap a bit more, although Mosin down bot.
In danger, but that's your Pulse 5 Bat Rider we're talking about. And they have to commit Arena for it as well. Spear, not going to be out. They commit Static Storm on top. That is some desperation if I've seen some, John. It's, I don't blame them, because he may have actually gotten away had they not done that. And, well, on the bright side, Yamate will also come in and die. So at least you get a bit of a bonus out of the Bounty Hunter. Not all too bad.
A bit reckless if Yamate just strolling up thinking he could snipe that BB. Good punishment. And this is where 496 can start to flex their muscles. They melt these towers fast, put everyone down. They're going to be able to find a tier 1 at the least. You don't have New in any position to really get a decent shove up. No movement down mid, so going to be a free tower for 496, even out that map control. You got the safe spot to farm in now. It is a bit of recovery for them, but if the mid does get shoved in, I think they will have to defend. And New, they've just completely taken over the top jungle anyway.
They have. DDZ looking to roll in on Bombi. They want some track kills to go, and they'll get a silence and a slow with the Mortimer's Kisses to come, and they will just take the very safe option. In fact, never mind, because the roll-in is there from TDZ. He might regret that one, or he might just go back into Bombi, try to roll back into the Lifestealer. There's your chrono out from Lance, just holding 2 of them down. DDZ still stunning up Rusman. He just can't finish the kill. Red's trying to come in, but DDZ, he is safe. Now Lance just going to follow up. All these track kills going the way of New Esports. There is going to be a nice spear, however, but Candy, he has the double stun out with the cookie. Lance will survive. DDZ will survive, or maybe Lance won't. Hung, he'll get in with the life drain. Now back onto Candy Lure. Maybe they went a bit too far there from New Esports. But it won't matter, John, because the kills they're getting are worth track kills, so they're worth a lot more.
Yeah, they win out the trade, they get a lot more gold. Have to be cautious about how long these fights go. There's a lot of sustain from 496. Can't underestimate the effectiveness of that life drain, despite how hideous it is. They're going to need some sustain coming out here as well. There's that Midas first one. It is at around the 13.5 minute mark, so a bit slow, but this does give your Lifestealer a way of riding through, getting some steady gold up. And if Russman is given some space here, he might be able to get some control back. We're seeing some issues with damage early on. They're going to need to itemize to counteract that. Lance, he's working towards an MKB. I think we have to see something like a mech from one of these supports. It doesn't look like they're really queuing up for that anytime soon, though. So they're going to have some durability issues for a while here, New. 496, their strength lies in prolonged fights. If they can keep drawing it out, they might be able to find more wins down the line.
We'll see if they can. They are still 5k behind. You are still versing a Void and a Bat Rider late game. Just scares me a little bit when you look at the side of 496's draft.
Yeah, it does. And Candy, he's got the axe, so he should be more scared now. 496, it's up.
No initiations, no problem. Candy's got it. See where he does get to use it first. It looks like they have spotted out Red, thanks to Yamate. Gets the track off. Red still sticking around for that bounty rune, but Yamate does just take it. The gobble up not going to quite make it, but Mosen wants the lasso out onto Red. But a nice spear out from Red. Still DDZ going to roll in now with the boulder smash. 496. They're not going to TP anyone up to help out. Red is just going to die. They were trying to smoke across the map, but nobody was there to be taken.
Yeah, it's another track kill you're giving out here, 496, so you can be happy with that pickup new. Just slowly and steadily building up their gold lead and still finding some really good farm. That MKB for Lance, he's just about 800 off the Demon Edge. So about 1,900 off overall. And once he's got that, should be a good time for the Void. They find a nice stack of Ancients as well, and a nice stack of large creeps. So you're losing out on some ground here, 496. They did stack that up for themselves to take, but when you rotate like that, you kind of give it away.
Just take all of them away. Mosen will start with the others. They get Lance really close to that MKB timing, and in fact, have they found Red again? Well, Yamate, gonna avoid that spear. Lance doesn't seem like he wants to commit the chrono here on this Mars. They'd rather the lasso. While they were doing that, though, the mid tier 1 tower did end up dropping to Hung, which is what you come to expect from a Pugna draft. And now they group up top lane, where they'll go for the arena. The spin into the arena onto Mosen, so he's just going to drop, and Yamate is also going to go down. New esports, they've got to be careful about giving away kills like this. There's no need for it.
No, definitely not. A bit reckless of New. Still, trying to get that mid. Russman TP's in to get the deny off. Doesn't quite.
That was a nice kick away from DDZ. He'll make sure they can't get the deny off on that tier 1 tower. And so the map evens out quite a bit. It's only a 1 tower advantage here for New esports, and that was the bot tier 1, which really doesn't mean too much anyway. Lance, again, is going to have that MKB up in just a second. Whereas you look at Rossman, he has something on the courier. He's going to have the armlet now. So maybe you could fight back.
Yeah, it gives you options. I think New, if they want to fight, they have to jump Hung first. Life drain's causing a lot of issues.
Yamate's just way too far forward. Like, he's trying to get some D wards out, but he's all alone in doing so. Gonna die again on the bounty.
You have to be careful. Every single kill counts here. You're giving ways for Risman to bounce back, giving them some snowball effect as well. Temper back the aggression just a tad. And again, you have to hunt Hung. You need to take that Pugna out. He's been a major issue in the sustained game here. Been too much to handle.
DDZ gonna get started onto Bombi. Gets silence off, but Arena is gonna be there. But Red, he missed the spear. Static Storm, however, dropped onto Lance with the life drain out from Hung. They might get the Void, and they do get him. DDZ gonna roll out, but gets glimpsed back. Tries to kick away Rossman and roll away from the life drain. They never really got to commit that chrono either. So that BB did have the Static Storm up and running.
Yeah, it's, again, hasty from New. They're being punished for really not getting their positioning right. Gotta line it up a bit more, 496. It's been the same combo for them, right? It's been the Arena and Static Storm, and that's just enough. I think New esports has to really be a bit smarter now about their plays there. And start lining up their openings. They do have this blink up in Mosen. So they do have the blink lasso ready to go. I think that's one way to break this initiation up. And perhaps start to find those pickoffs you're looking for. Still maintaining 7k lead, 15 to 15. 496 has evened it out, but there is a smoke here from New.
Up towards that top die jungle again. Maybe even the Roshan. They have the MKB coming out onto Lance now, but they need to wait for that courier to be there. Yamate, slow it up with the open wounds, but there's your lasso out from Mosen. Now Lance commits a chrono, but it's only onto the Wyvern. Still, they'll take the kill, a 1-for-1. And now he'll have his MKB up. But Hung is going to come in. Gobble up is there from DDZ into the roll. They're going to keep chasing. Who they found there? It is going to be Red. DDZ continues onto Hung, gets the silence off. They want to try and close this gap. Rasman is there to try and help out on the life stealer, but there's really not much he can do. So Hung gonna get caught out by the roll of DDZ. Will end up dying.
That's a big win here for 496. That's the kind of fight we were looking for. Not quite staggered in the way we expected, but comes out in the end. They managed to keep Hung down, and they get red as well. So they miss out on, say, Risman, but they've got that 8k lead, 18-16. They start to look at the Roche. With its MKB and Mom on Lance, this should go fairly quick, 496. They can't really allow this one to go. They do have like a ward watching that pit. They should know what's happening, but I don't know if they can make it in time. They're not quite making their way down to the pit yet.
Quick Roshan out. Lance does get the Aegis. Gobble Up is there, out from Yamate onto Bombi. Bombi's going to be alright, but he is going to be surrounded. He'll try to Arctic Burn, but the cookie up the high ground. However, Static Storm is there onto Candaloon with the life train now. And he is kind of stuck up there. Tries for the TP, but gets glimpsed back. Even the spear won't take him down. The God's Rebuke not going to knock him down. He just can't get off. He'll cookie down himself onto the Winter Wyvern. Bombi does eventually die. But Candaloon may be going a bit too far here. I mean, come on. I'm not sure how worth you'd call that. So, just the Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, it was a track kill though. I think might have tunnel vision too hard there. It's pretty surprising that the spear couldn't knock. The God Rebuke could not. I'm not sure what's up with that one, but it is what it is. New esports 1-for-1. The lead drops down to 7k because of that though. So 496 definitely happy with that sort of trade. You set up themselves up nicely to keep waiting out. There's some progress being made by Risman. Does have the Desolator up, and they're gonna play with red. He's gonna be the vehicle. No blink yet, but if they run into someone, that could be a very dead hero if you're not careful.
Into the mid lane, they want to try and fight this one out. DDZ very far forward, trying to go after that BB. Red getting the glimpse vision for DDZ, but he will BKB up and now roll back in. Who's he gonna go after though? Bombi being very, very sneaky on top of that cliff with the Winter's First, but DDZ going to jump straight on top. They do have the arena out, however. He is kind of stuck there. Bombi is just going to sit around and wait for his time to shine. Magnetize still being refreshed, but Bombi is eventually going to die. Still DDZ. Now being glimpsed back. There's your Chrono out. They caught Hung on the Pugna, and now it's on to that BB on the Disruptor. Does go down. Rosman been left alone. He'll also die. A triple kill out for Lance. And Yamate will continue the chase onto red. Spear won't land from red. Gobble Up is there from onto Mosen. Red will use him up. They're still going to chase though. Flame Break is enough for DDZ to get the roll on. They do completely wipe them. Full team wipe out for New Esports.
That is a lot of gold. 5 track kills, Mike. Yamate being very efficient. Unfortunate that it's only level 1 track. Would love to have him at level 12, but makes no difference in you. They maintain the 13k lead. There are TPs in to defend the tier 2 though, but not sure how much they can really do here.
BKB, Lance. It's going to be alright. Have his 10-second charge now up on the Void. So you can fight without the Chrono now, but you obviously don't want to if you can avoid it. The 14k net worth lead, New Esports are looking really good in this matchup, sitting at a 93% chance of winning this one. And knocking 496 out. Mosen doesn't have Lasso yet, but jumps in onto red. Now Lance to follow. Hung, going to turn back around now with the Nether Ward and the live train, but DDZ is going to be around to go back onto red. Now the Static Storm going to be whipped with the arena, both just not going anywhere. Lasso is out onto Rossman, which will allow Lance to come in with the damage onto the life stealer. There was a nice curse out from Bombi. It isn't going to mean too much. Yamate at least does die, and Rossman is still alive, and so does DDZ on the Earth Spirit. So a 2-for-2 trade. They are still trying, but the Decrepify is out on the Void, and Lance will not pop that BKB. Bombi does TP out on the Wyvern.
It's not the best trades for New. They were fighting without Chrono. Perhaps waiting for the BKB use with a Chrono first here for Lance. Still some good punishment for 496. That does keep them in the game, although Hung...
Born out. He has the life drain, but the Mortimer's Kisses to come in. Mosen just running around in circles. And does eventually get caught off by the Nether Blast anyway. But, I mean, it's worth it for the mid-Pugna kill. Always will be.
Yep, it's slightly more gold for Hung, but again, offset by his death. So not the ideal here for 496. They still stay in the game, though. They've still got their tier 2s up and running, so their defense is actually going remarkably well, considering this deficit. I think New Esports now, they have to play with Lance while this Aegis is up, but it's not going to be up. It's going to expire, like, literally right now, maybe in a second or two. So you're not going to have that second life. You got to be more cautious with Lance now. And they're just going to go back to farming for a bit more. I think maybe considering the failed push, they might just wait for the next Roche, which does give some time for Risman to build up. Again, his Midas buildup is paying off in a big way. He's just 2,000 gold behind Lance. Again, considering that everything has been flowing in through track kills, Risman's actually doing a good job playing this farm game as well.
He is. Another smoke up, New. They have the Chrono this time. And Lasso not out from Mosen yet. Red is still going to try and walk away out of this. Yamate, they'll roll in and they'll take the kill. They'll save the Lasso for the next hero they run into. While that's happening, that BB is pushing out the bot wave. Trying to make it a bit harder for New to think about going into that tier 2 mid tower. And they will not. They'll just keep roaming through the dire jungle and seeing if they can find anyone else. They might run into Hung. Take the mid tier 2. Yamate does kill off Bombi, and now Hung gonna barely avoid getting chronoed there by Lance. But DDZ gonna roll straight in with the Boulder Smash to slow him up with the Magnetize and the roll in. Lance will take the kill, and now Rossman gonna get caught by the chrono. That was not the TP he wanted. Bombi will buy back to try and save, and actually does with the Cold Embrace. That BB has a Static Storm. They can drop it all down onto this Void. Lance, he pops his BKB. Going back after Rossman. Here comes DDZ again with the Mortimer's Kisses to fly in. This Lifestealer is so low and will finally die. And 496, they are getting wiped. It is only that BB that will survive. Into the tier 3 towers it is.
It's going to be a hard defense. You don't have Static Storm, and they're just going to keep hunting like this. It's not a defense you can really hold out on. Maybe when you have Hung back in, you can try, but you don't have your ults. It's really just going to be a tall task here. Unfortunately, they only have one set of racks that can be taken out. They're saved by their tier 2s. You do get to fight for another day, but it's starting to get a bit dicey.
Gobble up? No, they miss out. They wanted to try for the cheekier kind of entrance into the next team fight, but they don't get it. Still, no other racks is being taken. There are 2 tier 2 towers standing.
Yeah, it's still really complicated for 496, and
they found a disruptor. That BB gonna go down. Unfortunate.
Very. I mean, Yamate is really just racking in track. So he's building up at a nice pace. They've got the pipe already up and running on him. He's got the Vlads on top. He's got so much room on this sport.
Lasso is out onto Red, trying to get him onto that high ground, but no, they'll go for the low ground fight. Arena is going to be dropped, but Lance, he has the BKB, but the curse is going to be out from Bombi into the Meteor Hammer. No, the Cookie stunning up Bombi. They will clean up Red. They get Bombi as well on the Wyvern, and now it's onto Rossman, who's just trying to get out of this one. But it is looking pretty hard for him as he is going to be surrounded. He'll rage up, continue to just chase down Mosin, but he'll force down to the low ground and he is just dead. This game is looking pretty tough. They're 28k net worth behind. DDZ gonna roll back in and see if he can find anyone else. Dota Plus is at 99%.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for 496 to turn it around now. I think the initiation's falling a bit flat. It's been much more reactive. Lance is really big in this phase of Void. They do have Chrono for the high ground. He's got the Scotty up as well. And 496, this is probably going to be one, maybe close to their last defense. If they can somehow stall it off, if they can get the Arena plus the Static Storm going once more, you might be able to do it. But it has to be perfect. The execution has to be on point. And New Esports, they're not making it easy. You have to work to get that initiation on.
Whoa.
There is... Wow, that's a desperation play there. That's a naked Ags now for that BB.
He literally sold everything else to get this Ags up. That is tough. But it's the only way of winning they see. Only chance they have of winning, I guess, for 496. It is tough with all these BKBs up. It's going to be even tougher once this Roshan goes down for New Esports, but they're trying to get there in time to fight this Roshan out. DDZ, he's going to be there to break the smoke, however. And Lance has basically already got it, but they do jump in for a lasso now, and they caught out the Pugna. Lance, Chrono is going to be there onto two heroes. Winter's Curse is going to slow things down, but they've already lost Red. With the Static Storm now being dropped from that BB, maybe they get the Void, but he has a secondary life. Yamate, he gets a double. This game looks to be over. Rusman's falling. Now they've got the last one. It is going to be the Disruptor, and they call it. It is a rather unfortunate way for 496 to have to leave the tournament, having two stand-ins, but that is how it ends for them.
Yeah, New Esports, to be fair to them, again, last time they met up against 496, which was yesterday, they did get a 2-0 as well. So I think it's more that New Esports understood how 496 plays. They had really good drafts around it. It's still rather unfortunate. This is not the way any team wants